You never get a second chance to make a first impression. In today's digital world, your homepage is that initial interaction, and it's absolutely crucial for the success of your business. It's the face of your brand, the virtual storefront that welcomes potential customers. Many think you need a team of developers or hours of coding knowledge to create a stunning, personalized online presence. Well, at iDateMedia.com, we believe that making your site your own should be accessible to everyone. Today, I'm going to show you how effortlessly you can transform your business homepage powered by iDateMedia.com's platform into a captivating and effective hub for your dream, all without writing a single line of code. We will also show you easy it is to add your logo, desired fonts, color scheme, and other adjustments necessary to ensnare your customers within your brand. Let's dive in. We are going to be utilizing a side-by-side view with the out-of-the-box configuration on the right-hand side of the screen and the iDateMedia Administrator panel on the left. We will be spending our time in the Aesthetics menu, specifically the homepage, menus, and branding settings. Notice that I will be refreshing the browser on the right, so you can see what those changes look like as we make adjustments in the settings on the left. The first toggle is for our customers that have already worked with a designer or an associate for their own homepage. Often entrepreneurs will get started on building their own site to later discover the complexity of building and integrating a matching algorithm. If you are truly starting from ground zero, this feature will not need to be utilized because you will be using the iDateMedia homepage. But if you have an existing site where you want users to be redirected to after they log out, this is where you would enter in that URL. Showing the search box on the homepage allows you to introduce an opportunity for engagement that provokes some intrigue by helping visitors picture the audience you serve and lures them into imagining the possibilities of thrilling matchmaking that awaits. A common concern that we hear is nobody will stick around my site if there's barely anybody else there. The pre-launch homepage allows you to display your unique value proposition and collect the contact information of interested candidates. This empowers you to strategically use this list, in addition to other marketing endeavors, to build up your community before an official launch. Enabling the homepage registration takes the login and register buttons out of the top right corner and replaces them with a widget adjacent to the main hero image. Now, enabling this capability will reveal an additional toggle that will require you to decide whether or not you want the login or registration view to be displayed first. And then finally in this section, fixing the header causes it to persist across the top of the homepage. Regardless of how your visitors scroll down, they will have those designated navigation options readily available to them. The next section in the homepage settings deals with the main homepage content. This is where you can change your main tagline, sub-tagline, the main call to action button label, as well as where you would ultimately want that button to redirect your customers to. Below that, we have the Attestation Modal enabler. This modal can be used for age verification, acceptance of terms and conditions, or any other consent required before site access. A cookie tracks acceptance for 1 year. When we hit refresh now that we have enabled this capability, you can see the title, the content of the modal, as well as the accept button and the decline button. Moving along past the Attestation Modal, we're going to scroll to the section where you would be able to change the homepage background image to better reflect your niche audience. Then we're going to talk about blurbs. Think about blurbs as though they are the different sections that are on your homepage. Now, the default configuration only has 3 of these sections set up, but as you can see, we're going to be able to add up to 6 of these blurbs. Each blurb can be used to provide more detail on the community you are trying to build and why they should be a part of it. So we're going to take a second to pause to show you how the settings and site match up. For blurb 1, we have the header, descriptive content, and where you could include a call to action button. For example, you may want to include a link to a blog post that explains your privacy policy. Likewise, the same corresponding inputs for blurb 2, and then for blurb 3. Experiment with different callouts to see what resonates the most with your prospective audience. Now we're going to go ahead and add a call to action button. So let's label the button as privacy and direct it to the privacy page. Click the Update the Homepage Settings button. I'm going to refresh the site in the browser and scroll down to Blurb 3, where we have been editing. And you can see that button is there now that didn't exist previously. The last section of the homepage admin panel allows you to include images in the footer. Although there are many possible use cases for this feature, we incorporated it into the software because it is helpful in building credibility for certain niches or communities to be affiliated with, or having received a credential from an important organization. For example, your business might hinge on a love for animals and pets. PETA has a cruelty-free certification, and you have obtained this certification because you know this is something that would resonate with your customers. So I have added the image. I'm going to update the homepage settings now. I'm going to refresh the browser and scroll to the bottom, and you see that it's included here now. Next to where you upload the image, I included a redirect URL just in case you have a customer that is interested in learning more. They can click on the image, and in a new tab, that website will be loaded. An important note for search engine optimization purposes is when you are uploading images, make sure that they are rich in descriptive keywords for maximizing organic site indexing. We are going to move on to the next screen in the Aesthetic Settings menu management. As previously shown, homepage controls are meant to optimize the experience to get customers registered and logged into the site. Menu parameters are what is visible once customers are logged in and used to navigate throughout the site. You can adjust the experience based on the user types that you configure as an admin. The header settings is where you can replace this top header with an image. You can control the font color. You can also control the font size as well. Let's go ahead and run through what a quick example would look like. We're going to go ahead and change what is known as the events label to calendar, and we are going to change the order that shows from the 3rd position to the 2nd position. Save that update in the admin panel, and you can see that change. As we continue to scroll down, you can see this is where the submenu is updated. This is where we are able to update the footer menu, and as we continue to scroll down, this is where you can update the user drop-down menu. We've saved the best for last. The branding configuration settings controls the global appearance of your site, including logos, favicons, site background images, and styling options, all without needing to write a line of code. However, for those of you that have proficiency in CSS, we do have a surprise for you at the bottom of this screen. Let's go ahead and just make a couple of changes to see how easy it is. We're going to click on the color square. I can click and drag or enter in the RGB code HSL or hex. I'm going to go ahead and change the secondary accent color to hex BA7380, and we're going to go ahead and change our font from Tahoma to Montserrat. And without touching anything else just yet, let's go ahead and see what that looks like. We're going to update in the settings. We're going to update on the site in the advanced styling options section. We can enable gradients as well as include transparency controls. The button gradient toggle has been enabled, and you can see that change within the buttons in the admin view as it gets darker towards the right. We come down to the site images section, where you can upload your personal logo to be displayed across the site, as well as a favicon. For those of you that are not quite sure what the favicon means, if you look up in the web browser tab, you see that same heart. We're going to go ahead and change it to this image that has been uploaded, and you can already see that change in the web browser. The other place where this particular image will be present is when your customers download the Progressive Web mobile app directly to their phone. This favicon is going to be the image or icon that is going to be on the screen of your customer's smartphone. Therefore, we recommend you use the simplest version of your logo. Let's refresh that change on the right side. Now you see the button gradient, you also see the favicon updated. Tucked away at the bottom are a couple of other more sophisticated capabilities that we're going to get to. This way you can inject custom scripts into the HTML depending on whether users are logged in or if users are logged out. The perfect use case for this would be an analytics script or a marketing pixel. There is one last exciting feature that we want to show you. We've been talking a lot about not needing to know how to code to be effective at administrating your iDateMedia website, and that is true. However, for those of you that are knowledgeable with CSS or are interested in hiring a designer to give your website an even more significant facelift, this amazing override feature is available to you. You can use this form to add custom CSS that will override the site's default styling. The CSS will be applied site-wide and loaded after all other style sheets. To provide an example, we have asked a generative AI agent to provide us with a space-like futuristic CSS scheme. We will insert that here. We will save CSS Override, and now we will apply that to the site. So there's a number of things we can see now. The button is taking on a hover over change behavior. The background has been changed. We've changed a lot of just the basic display and layout of the site. And this is something that can be very easily changed by just going back into your CSS panel, deleting it, clearing it, and just like that, it'll go back to the way that it was. We spent 30 seconds on a prompt that made a few basic changes for those of you that have the patience, an eye for design, and the ability to program in CSS. The sky truly is the limit for how you can modify the appearance of your site. You are now an expert on how to bring the story of your brand to life with the iDateMedia platform. We have covered a lot of ground, but the intuitive interface paired with the instruction of this video will help you put your best foot forward. Whether you already have a homepage or not, we can work with you to put you in a great position to succeed. We have covered a lot of capabilities, and we will continue to add the tools to further empower you, and are always available for custom enhancements that will help your team to reach your business goals.